Stand up! Stand up! Stand the f*** up!
EMS to stage and air crew is going to go ahead and fly whenever
I'm sober.
Those are the cries of a mother holding on to the bodies of her 3 dead kids while looking at their father, the man who had planned for months to kill his 3 little boys. The man's name is Chad Dorman, and he was an emotionless murderer. On the 15th of June 2023, dispatch received 2 worrying 911 calls, one from a passerby after she was approached by a terrified little girl on the road.
911, where's your emergency?
There's a girl running down the street saying that her stepbrother is killing everyone. Do you know what road this is? Laura Lindell Road.
What?
It's Laura Lindell Road.
Earlier that afternoon, Chad left work early and arrived at his Claremont residence, where he took his wife with him to the bedroom and asked her to join him for a nap with their 3 sons, Chase, Hunter, and Clayton, leaving only his stepdaughter in the other room watching TV. Without warning, Chad suddenly took out a rifle and shot 4-year-old Hunter twice in the head. Hearing the commotion, the 12-year-old stepdaughter rushed into the room to see her mother shielding her injured son from Chad, who fought viciously and even bit his wife to get to the boy and finish him off. Out of desperation, his wife grabbed the rifle and Chad shot her hand, causing her to release Hunter into his line of fire.
Did you say how or what was happening?
I asked her to get in the car with me, and she said she couldn't leave her.
With her mother wounded, the young girl told her remaining brothers to run far away from the house, while she fled closely behind them. The oldest son, Clayton, made it 300 feet away from the home before being gunned down from behind by his father.
Can you tell how many people have been shot?
I think 2 children.
Okay.
Seeing this, the frightened stepdaughter carried her 3-year-old brother in hopes of getting him to safety. But Chad soon caught up to her, and after demanding that she put him down, he took aim at Chase and pulled the trigger. Fortunately, Chad's gun was jammed, and Chase, now separated from his stepsister, ran back to the only place he had grown to know as safe, the house, and there he was caught by Chad. With great terror, the stepdaughter ran to a nearby fire station to seek help.
But I think she ran to the fire department.
So she went to the fire station. What did she look like?
She's probably a young teenager, probably like 16 maybe, with long blonde hair.
Chad's stepdaughter was only 12 at the time of the incident, and after her brothers had been brutally murdered, the officer showed up at the crime scene, not knowing what to expect from the now unresponsive killer.
Show us your fucking hands now! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up now! Stand up! Stand the fuck up!
EMS to stage and air crew is going to go ahead and fly whenever any units can arrive.
Get your hands up here. Caliber 21.
With Chad in custody, the cops had the chance to inspect the crime scene, and they noticed a mother screaming beside her dead children's bodies, while their father, the killer, remained emotionless, and quite right until he heard someone instructing the officers to shoot him.
Those guys can confirm that there's people in the first aid, and that's the shooter who's not complying. They need to take care of the victims. If they have to shoot him, then shoot him.
Man, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm completely sober. Never did drugs
63, we're 21. Get the EMS over here.
Well, I did drugs when I was little, but I don't do drugs now. I'm sober. I'm not trying to fight you.
Chad had a very strange behavior. He was previously looking over the bodies of his 3 sons and his injured wife, and now he explained he wasn't trying to hurt anybody, seemingly in a bid to appear cooperative and avoid being shot. He even tries to warn the cops about his dog.
63.
Get your butt inside. Gatlin, get your butt inside.
We on prime.
No, man.
Can I roll over? I ain't gonna hurt you. I ain't gonna hurt nobody.
You got anything on you?
No, I ain't got nothing, man. Phone, that's it. I ain't mad, I ain't nothing. Just make sure that dog don't come out. I don't think he'll bite you. Just don't reach for him and try to grab him and pet him.
All right.
He won't bite you.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Can I stand up? It's kind of uncomfortable.
I'm gonna
I
get
ain't
you
gonna
here
do
in a
nothing. I ain't running
second.
away. You can do whatever you want with me.
Saying nothing was going on while his 3 dead sons were only a few feet away was a bold claim that his wife, who was wailing on the floor, would strongly disagree with.
Because you're clear they're being...
It was very strange that Chad made no attempts to murder his wife or stepdaughter, even though she was the one to notify the police, and he knew exactly where she was.
Here. You the only one else inside the house?
What?
You the only one else inside the house?
Yeah.
Sit down right here.
My daughter, she ran over to the fire department.
Sit down.
It's my stepdaughter.
Put him in the cage.
From the moment the police arrived, Chad remained calm and rather emotionless, even after passing his son's body on his way to the squad car.
Can you get the wallet out of my back pocket?
Shut up, dude. Yeah, the rope remains solid. Fucking use it.
But his newfound calm nature was about to change after spending one night in police custody. The next morning, Chad had to appear in court, and he suddenly became combative with cops and refused to change clothes before his arraignment, opting to continue wearing the green safety smock given to him upon his arrival at jail. After that, he was given some instructions to follow when the courtroom and the reality of jail time began to set in.
We're gonna have the public defender. I know. Chad, look at me. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. No, I know. Just take a deep breath for me, okay? I'm gonna have your public defender come back and talk to you, okay? And then we're gonna go out and we're gonna do your hearing. Can you hear me? Do you need a second? Take a deep breath. Okay. So your public defender will come back and talk to you. You understand that? Okay. And then we'll go out for your hearing, okay?
In the courtroom, Chad seemed to follow instructions and had his eyes on the judge the whole time. But his emotions got the best of him as the chief prosecutor called the killings the worst case he'd ever seen.
One of the most monstrous, craven, cowardly acts that will ever be our misfortune to see. To make things even more disturbing, Judge, this was no haphazard act. Again, by his own admission, he planned the acting on a whim. He's confessed to what I believe is the worst crime, at least I hope, that I'll see in my lifetime. I hope it's the worst fact pattern that ever comes before this court.
The prosecutor went on to explain that if Chad was allowed back into the community, he could pose a great threat, and he most likely would not return to court.
We're going to ask this court to issue a bond we've never asked for before. I'm going to ask for a bond of $20 million. I hope I never need to request such a bond again.
The bond was set at $20 million, which ensured that Chad wasn't getting out of jail. Only a week later, Chad appeared in court again. And although he initially confessed to the police, this time he wasn't tearful or remorseful, as he pleaded not guilty to killing his 3 young sons. 4 days later, a celebration of life was held for Clayton, Hunter, and Chas at a local church.
They were bright, they were fun, they were loving kids.
They were just a little dose of summer year-round.
They found fun in everything, and their story deserves to be heard and remembered.
A tent filled with toys, candles, and cars was erected at the spot where one of the boys died. Seeing that tent every day was a man who lived across from the murder scene.
There wasn't a day he didn't yell at his wife and kids out there.
What would he yell?
All kinds of He was just angry, yelling at her all the time, treating her like I still see the babies sitting in the yard, laying in the yard. One was right there by the tree, right by the road, not even 20 feet from the road right there. This is where that dude laid it. Laid the one up there right beside that silver truck, to the left of the tire, about 5 foot. That's all I see every time I come out here. That's why I try to look at that, focus on that.
A tent now covers a memorial of candles, cars, and cuddle toys. Kincannon tells me he's struggled to eat or sleep since the murders. He watched Chad Dorman cry at his arraignment and had no compassion for him whatsoever.
Prosecutors claim the multiple homicide was premeditated by Chad for several months, and they wanted to push for a death sentence. Chad is being held at the Claremont County Jail, where he awaits his court trial.